Good day to all of you. Myself, Dr. Arvind Sharma, Associate Professor in Physics, Government Dover College, Bikaner. In last video, we are discussing about the radar range equation, and we understand about the basic radar equation. Equation 2.1 is the form, and as I told you in this article, every step is explained quite well and in depth. Okay, so we understand about that how derivation of PS is. First point is transmitter. We understand about this, how P radiated power expression is derived, what is the role of antenna, and how SR calculated, what is the ellipse area from this figure, and by using these expressions we calculate the SR. Okay, after that, radiated power. What is radiated power? Effective radiated power. We now want to discuss quantity effective radiated power. What is effective radiated power? To do so, we ask the question, what power would we need at the feed of an isotropic radiator to get a power density of SR at all points on a sphere of radius R? An isotropic radiator is an antenna that does not focus energy. Instead, it distributes power uniformly. It does distributes power uniformly over the surface of a sphere centered on the antenna. We can think of an isotropic radiator as a point source radiator. We note that an isotropic radiator cannot exist in the real world. However, it is a mathematical and conceptual concept that we often use in radar history. Like the impulse function is in mathematical theory. If we denote the effective radiated power PEF and realize that surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r square, then power density on the surface of a sphere becomes SR P effective upon area 4 pi r square, and if equation 2.9 we obtain P effective. What is 2.8? 2.8 is this expression for SR. Okay, so by using this expression, P effective becomes PT ZT upon LT L ANT equal to ERP, effective radiated power. Effective radiated power is abbreviated as ERP. In this equation, the losses in the feed and or antenna are included as the L antenna term. Some radar analysts think that power at the output of a radar antenna is the ERP. It is not. Again, consider this point, try to understand it. Some radar analyst thinks that power at the output of a radar antenna is the ERP. It is not. The power at the output of the antenna is PT upon LT L out, L antenna. All the antenna does is focus this power over a relatively small angular sector. So, understand this point clearly. Another note is that development above makes the tacit assumption that the antenna is pointed exactly at the target. If the antenna is not pointed at the target, ZT must be modified to account for this. We do this by means of antenna pattern, which is a function that gives the value of ZT at all possible angles of the target relative to where the antenna is pointing. Antenna gain. We next want to address the factor K4, Ka. What is Ka in equation 2.7? As indicated, Ka accounts for the properties of the antenna. Specifically, it accounts for the fact that the power is not uniformly distributed over the ellipse. Account that power is not uniformly distributed over the ellipse. It accounts for the fact that not all the power is concentrated in the antenna beam of the ellipse. Some of it spill out. Okay. The beam into that the term antenna side lobes. Some of it spill out of the beam into what we term antenna side lobes. Okay. So this expression becomes a good value for Ka is 1.65. So Zt becomes 4 pi upon 1.65 theta A theta B. If equation 2.11, the quantities theta and theta B are termed antenna beam widths and have the unit radians. In many applications, theta and theta B are specified in degrees. And Zt becomes 25,000 upon theta A degree, theta B degree, where the two beam widths in the denominator are in degrees. To visualize the concept of beam width, we consider figure 4, which is a plot of Zt versus theta for phi equal to 0. This is the plot 2.4 simple antenna pattern, Z gain versus theta. Okay, and here beam width is 3 dB that we consider. Okay, the expression Zt is a means of saying that the antenna gain is a function of where the target is located relative to where the antenna is pointing. With some thought, you will realize that two angles are needed to specify any point on the sphere discussed earlier. The unit of measure vertical axis is dBi or decibels relative to isotropic. This is not dB, this is dB small I. dB small I, decibels relative to isotropic, and is the common unit of measure of Zt in radar applications. We define beam width of an antenna as the distance between 3 dB points, which is shown in figure. Beam width of antenna. What is beam width of antenna? Distance between 3 dB points. 3 dB points are the angles where Zt theta phi is 3 dB below its maximum value. As a side note, the maximum value of Zt is the antenna gain. Okay, with this we find that the antenna represented in figure 4 has a beam width of 2 degree. We might call this theta a degree. Suppose we were to plot Zt versus theta for phi equal to 90 degree and find distance between 3 dB points was 2.5 degree. We would then say that the beam width was 2.5 degrees in this direction. We would then call theta p degree. We would compute the antenna gain as Zt equal to 25,000 upon 2 into 2.5, 5,000 watt per watt, and in dBi 37 dBi. Okay, in future we will drop the notation dBi and use dB. In future we will drop the notation dBi and use dB. Okay, the humps in figure on either side of the central hump are the side lobes. These are the hump, central hump, and these are side humps. These are known as side lobe of the antenna that were mentioned earlier. The target and radar cross section. Now back to our discussion derivation. Thus far we have an equation for SR, the power density in the location of the target. As the electromagnetic wave passes by the target, some of the power in it is captured by the target and re-radiated back and toward the radar. The process of capturing and re-radiating the power is very complicated and the subject of much research. We will discuss it further in later section. For now, we simplify the concept radar cross-section. We note that SR has the unit watt per meter square. Therefore, we were to multiply SR by an area, we would convert it to a power. This is what we do with RCS, which we denote sigma and ascribe the unit meter square or dBSM. If we convert it into dB units, with this we say that the power captured radiated by the target is P target equal to sigma SR. We further make the idealized assumption that the target acts as an isotropic antenna and radiates P target uniformly in all directions. In this sense, P target is intercepted as an effective radiated power. In fact, the target is much like an actual antenna and radiates the power with different amplitudes in different directions. Again, this process is very complicated and beyond the scope of this course. To get an ideal of the variation, refer to figure 2.15 of the Skolnick reference of footnote 1. This is taken from some paper. Okay, the figure indicates that P target can vary about 25 dB depending upon the orientation of the aircraft relative to the radar. So you just memorize this data, doesn't think about this paper. Okay, these are the research parts. Given the above assumption that the power radiated by the target and that it acts as an isotropic radiator, the power density at the radar is as received equal to P target upon 4 pi r square. And now at last we got the result for S equal to PTZT sigma upon 4 pi square R4 LT whole. Okay, antenna. Again, as the electromagnetic wave from the targets passes the radar and radar antenna captures part of it and sends it to the receiver. The role of antenna, we know about that, an antenna feed P antenna equal to SR AE, and AE is effective area, effective aperture of the antenna, and AE equal to rho A antenna, rho A. Okay, and substituting these, the relation for P antenna is this. Okay, P antenna equal to PTZT sigma E upon 4 pi square R4 LT. Now antenna gain. Okay, in equation 2.19 is usually very easy to use because AE term. A more convenient method of characterizing the antenna would though the use of its gain. We did on transmit. According to antenna theory, we can relate antenna gain to effective aperture. This is the relation that you can remember directly. ZR equal to 4 pi AE upon lambda square, and our expression becomes like this. Okay, so this is the different forms. That means we convert it into ZR. Now losses. As a final step in this part, we see that losses and denote by this L. With this we say that signal power in the radar is given because these losses reduce the power. Why? Two of these are antenna and feed loss that we discussed earlier. Okay, we need to account the losses, and two of these are antenna and feed loss. Okay, and if we include it, expression becomes this: additional losses added, because this term is in the denominator, so PS reduced. In the above paragraph, we said that PS is the signal power. What is PS? Signal power in the radar. However, we did not say where is in the radar. We will save the discussion until later. For now, we want to turn out attention to the noise term here. Okay. Derivation of PN. All radars, as with all electronic equipment, must operate in the presence of noise in electronic device. The main source of noise is termed thermal noise and is due to agitation of the electrons caused by heat. The heat can be caused by the environment, the sun, the earth, the room, humans, etc., and by the electronic equipment itself. In most radars, the predominant source of heat is electronic equipment. Noise, power, spectral density. There are many terms that we want to understand about, and we include these terms in our radar range equation. So in next lecture we try to understand which parts we can also include in our this expression. Thanks to all of you.